Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Boo and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to all of her formal obedience commands, the correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and let go on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Boo is going to come home with her very own training collar, and you're going to be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now, she is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper walking on a leash, and the command is Boo, heel.
Boo, heel.
Now at this point, Boo has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg when walking, not forging ahead or lagging behind, not putting her nose on the ground and picking up sticks, but keeping with you so that any walk that you take her on should be pleasurable. She should not be pulling your arm out of the socket, and each time that you stop your feet, she sits automatically without being told to wait for her next command. She's really done it. She's really very, very bright girl. I'm sure that she's grown a ton too since the last time you saw her. So she's a little lady now. Now the next command that Rich is going to demonstrate for you is the stay.
Stay.
The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, you do not use her name. The long sit stay in basic obedience training is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes, and you're going to lengthen out both time and distance. When Rich returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her as an additional distraction, returning all the way back around to heel, and at this point she expects to get another command, and he tells her to heel again. Each time that you return back to heel position or the dog returns back to heel position, she expects you to tell her what you want her to do next. Nice automatic sit. So if you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic or stop to talk to a neighbor, she should sit automatically without being told and not be jumping all around on the end of the leash.
Stay.
Rich leads her in another sit stay, and remember to practice your stationary exercises indoors as well as outdoors. She's very, very bright, and she needs something to do with her brain. This time, instead of returning back to her, Rich is going to call her. This is the recall, and the command is Boo, come. And she comes right in front and sits facing his knees, and you see her looking up at him. She's very focused, and then she returns back to heel. And encourage her to come and sit in front of you, because that eliminates her coming and jumping on you.
Stay.
Rich leaves her in another sit stay. He uses her name, he lightens his tone of voice, and she comes right in front and sits, and then she returns back to heel and back sitting.
Good girl.
Very nice. Now we're going to set up for our down commands, and there are 2 of them. And remember, everything starts and stops at heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, shoulders even with your left leg, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word firm command to down, and then stay. And your long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 minutes, working up to 5 minutes. And again, you're going to lengthen out time and distance. She's really smart, so she needs a lot of mental stimulation, and these exercises give her that. And we're going to be teaching you how to incorporate these exercises into your everyday living situations. Rich will demonstrate that down from a heel position one more time. Remember, always have your dog seated before you attempt to put them into a down.
Down.
And then you leave her, stay. Now, Rich just told her no to discourage her from sniffing, because on a down stay she shouldn't be sniffing. This time Rich is calling her in out of that. Has her come right in front and sit. And then go back to heel and back sitting. Perfect. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you will be your down from a distance. So you're going to have your dog sit at your left. You're going to leave her in a stay.
Stay.
You're going to walk out to the end of your training equipment or your training leash. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the
Down.
command.
Down.
That's your down from a distance. Now we have demonstrated for you your heeling, your automatic sits, your stay, your down stay, your down from a distance, and your come. These are the exercises that you're going to be practicing with Boo when she comes home. Please keep us posted on how she's doing at home. It's like losing a family member for Boo to go home after all this time. We've so enjoyed having her. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.